Hey bros, Flames here with what will hopefully be a quick update video for this channel and the YouTube channel. Um, you may have noticed I've been absent recently, fairly inactive for a week or so, and I'm going to go into exactly why that is and exactly where I'll be taking the channel from here. So, um, as I'm sure many of you know by this point, I've been playing Stepmania for many years and recently got into Reflex. I've put in about 2,000 hours into Reflex up to this point, and probably easily over 10,000 into Stepmania, as well as probably around 10,000 into World of Warcraft, and then a few thousand here and there in other games that I played just more casually, you might say. So this is quite intensive, and it's definitely taking its toll on my hands with these games being very micro heavy. Generally speaking, it appeals to me. That's the type of things that I've enjoyed playing in my career, you might say. um, and so my hands are kind of exhausted by this point, and therefore I need to act responsibly and make some adjustments here on the channel and just ease off a little bit, calm down, relax, take it easy. You know what I'm saying? So I've decided to make a sort of loose schedule for the stream and also focus my attention on a few other projects outside of Reflex and Stepmania. So I'm going to cover all of that as well here today. The first thing to address is the alterations that I've made to my keybinds in Stepmania. Now, here we can see my old configuration. Now, it's basically a straight line, but it's spread. I'm using here, you can see A and S and down and right. Now, if you think about a piano, the keys have a lot of depth to them, as well as being quite wide relative to keyboard keys. And so when you rest your hands on a piano, your fingertips will always fall onto the keys in simply your natural resting position. Whereas with a keyboard using this straight piano-like configuration, you're actually compressing or contorting your middle finger to try and adhere to the position of your pointing, your index, is that index? Pointing finger. Um, and it's quite uncomfortable, essentially. And I believe that was a large part of the issue. So I've gone ahead and addressed this by switching to this style of play, which someone had mentioned to me in the past. They introduced me to the concept. They said they play this way. I thought it was very strange at the time, obviously, because it was not something I was at all familiar with or used to particularly. But I now understand exactly why you might choose to play like this. You'll see from the screenshot here that the fingers now just sit in a natural resting position. It's extremely comfortable, except for the fact that I'm now, of course, trying to adjust my muscle memory. Well, I'm essentially experiencing dissonance as I battle against my muscle memory. So I sometimes try to reposition my fingers to the feeling or the positioning of the old binds, and I try to correct myself when no correction is necessary. But other than that, the actual posture is extremely comfortable. If you play rhythm games, more specifically on a keyboard, I would highly recommend, if you're playing 4-key, checking out this configuration. Just go into your input test screen and just feel it out for a while. I spent a good amount of time just feeling it out and trying to configure the keyboard, configure it so that I could get my hands in the most comfortable position on the keyboard possible. I've done a few sessions, just small 2-hour, 4-hour sessions here and there to try and start getting used to it. It's going pretty well so far, and I think overall, ultimately, the result will be highly beneficial. With that said, another element of the channel that will be returning is Call to Arms, the tabletop role-playing game that I worked on in the past. It's heavily inspired by Stars Without Number, as well as Dungeon World, as well as D&D, and a couple of other systems. we're implementing several new features, and there's been several updates made by myself to the game. I will not be DMing. We're bringing in a very talented dungeon master, Matt, aka the Enigma Man, also one of the random gentlemen, which we'll get to momentarily. Now, this is going to be a unique format, which I will now explain. We're using a guild system, so that the campaign is essentially a drop-in campaign when players can leave and join as they wish. So you might play a single session, you might play every week, you might switch between DMing and playing a character weekly as well. There's a lot of possibility here. It's very easy to schedule for, and we're going to see a diverse cast of players and player characters, and I think it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Each session, which will be every Sunday, as we'll get to in a moment, will be a self-contained adventure, which will essentially, well, I won't really go beyond that. So you won't really, whilst the world will be consistent, you won't really have to keep totally up to date with the show to fully appreciate it, because each adventure will feature unique characters and a unique scenario. I think that basically covers it. If anyone is interested in tabletop gaming, then feel free to contact me and we will discuss applications to the quote-unquote guild, i.e. joining the campaign, if that seems like something you would want to involve yourself with. Beyond Call to Arms is The Random Gentleman. This is a podcast idea that we've been working on for a while. Let me just have a sip of water here. And it will essentially be a gaming talk show on Twitch with me, Matt, and Tom, featured here in our beautiful chibi forms. And we'll be discussing anything relevant to us, and also bringing on level designers, game designers, people from the industry, etc., etc. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure what my role is going to be totally there. I'm kind of involved in some obscure scenes, but I think it would be excellent to bring on level designers from Reflex, and if we do have people representing their games or on the show to discuss games, I am usually fairly strongly opinionated about certain things, so there may be discussion of new AAA titles, indie titles, anything. We'll cover anything and everything that seems relevant to us, whether we appreciate it or whether we're not particularly satisfied with it, or we have some criticism or something. It's going to be a very loose and relaxed discussion, and it should be entertaining. So that will run on Sundays also, which brings me to the schedule now. Sundays will be a podcast or tabletop or both. This allows me to rest my hands, just simple note taking. It's mostly just communication, verbal communication. It's going to be essentially an off day, but not an off day, if you feel what I'm saying, relative to how the stream has been in the past, where it's all very intensive, reflex step mania, just keep pushing. So I'm trying to diversify and relax a little bit. Saturdays, I don't know why we're going backwards through the week. Saturdays will be Stepmania. It's going to be a full Stepmania stream, so that we can avoid doing. I don't know if it's totally optimal as far as entertaining the viewers to jump between games in an individual stream. I don't mind it personally. I quite like it, but I think it would be decent if we had Stepmania Saturdays, when you know that the stream is going to be rhythm game Saturdays all day, and you can be there if that appeals to you. If not, you'll understand and move on your journey. On Thursdays, Fridays, Mondays, and Tuesdays, so the weekdays, all but Wednesday, I'll be playing one of the main games, which right now is Reflex or Black Desert. There may be introductions in the future, new and tasty, Super Meat Boy, anything. Rocket League comes to mind. There could be additions, but basically Reflex or Black Desert will be the main portion of the stream. And that basically covers everything, dude. So I apologize for my inactivity. I'm trying to rest my hands and just recover them to the to be in the best state that they can possibly be so that I can continue delivering content to you guys. So hopefully everyone's satisfied with the direction of the channel. I really appreciate everyone sticking with me to this point, and I think it's going to be really good. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how all of this plays out. So there we go. Hopefully that wasn't too long, and I'll see you on stream sometime, bros. Peace out.